to other folks who aren't able to come in. So we're beginning our Terra Fair Fellows introductory workshop. And this is a way that Terra is creating the opportunity for people to mentor and guide middle and high school kids, particularly high school, into that creative experience of participating in a science and engineering fair. I'm going to turn the screen over to Megan, and she will, you can see I'm going to switch over to running the show, and your things are down lower left.
Okay, thank you. So just a quick introduction. I've spoken to a few of you. My name is Megan Scott. I'm the K-12 program coordinator for Terra. We also have here Kaylee May.
I'm the director of marketing and operations at Terra.
And Mary Eileen is also with us.
And I'm a consultant with the Terra Northeast Regional Science and Engineering Fair.
Could everyone on the phone or on the computer just tell us your name and what institution or position you're coming from?
Sure. This is Jan Tribula, and I am at SUNY Potsdam, Chair of Biology, and I am the Director of the Terra Northeast Regional Science and Engineering Fair.
Lily? Are you in?
This is, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, I'm Lily. I am from SUNY Potsdam. I teach physics.
Sean?
Hi, I'm Sean Ellison. I teach earth science at Norfolk Central School.
Have we had anyone else join? All right, so we'll get started. And because this is being recorded, we can also post this on the website. So if anybody wants to share this opportunity with somebody who missed our little workshop today, feel free to do that. All right, so let's get right into the fellowship program. We call it the Terra Fairs Fellowship. Our program details, this is for teachers, mentors, STEM leaders, anyone who wants to help students prepare for research projects that will be submitted to their regional fair. It is a 2-year program. We would like everyone to be mentoring the students throughout their project preparation and then helping them register for their local regional fair. So for all of you, that would be the one that's at SUNY Potsdam. So that one is the Terra Northeast Regional Science Fair, Science and Engineering Fair, excuse me. Projects consist of 1 to 3 students per project. This is a standard set by ISEF, and we keep with this. We do require for the program that there's a minimum of 2 research projects that are registered and participate in the Regional Science and Engineering Fair, and that's each year. We will provide continuous year-round support, so that includes consultations with us. If you would like to do it over the phone, email, or video chat, we can always use GoToMeeting and Skype if you're having any issues or need help with anything. We're available for that, the 3 of us, Mary Eileen, Kaylee, and myself. We can also provide you with a guideline for what the timeline of the project should be. So some people prefer not to have any kind of timeline set up. It makes them feel a little restricted, but some people prefer to have it kind of laid out. So we can also provide that for some guidance. Now, we also have direct communication with the fair committees. Jan is the committee chair, the director of the fair. So as you can see, we have direct communication, and so would you, because he's here today. And if anyone has any questions throughout this, feel free to just speak up and we can address those questions right away. Part of the program is financial support. So mentors receive $100 when they are accepted into the program and they confirm their acceptance, and then $400 after the 2 projects are registered and participate in the Regional Science and Engineering Fair. We also offer up to $500 in approved supplies right on the Terra Fair's website under the Terra Fair's Fellowship tab and going under Resources. You can find the form to become reimbursed for your supplies, and there's also a form for approved materials. So just make sure that you're actually getting supplies, not food for students and for after-school programming, that sort of thing. It's more so a protractor, beakers, that sort of thing. So
this is your chance. You can also think about this as a classroom opportunity. This is your chance to bring in new supplies that you can have your students use for their independent research project, but your science club then would have that accessible. Think about whether there's a program that you have already, and if you added this particular software package with a scanner that became a wireless microscope, if you had that, you could expand what the kids could do for their science project, and whoopee, now you have that available for everything you do. This is for classroom teachers, this is for Scout and 4-H leaders, this is for parents involved with a homeschooling co-op. We're looking for ways to get groups that are a formal organization that need resources that aren't locally available. So do think about how you can take what you get from this and multiply it with more students, doing more fair projects, or perhaps something that's a thematic project for a whole semester. And so that you don't just have 2 projects, you have in a class of 30, 10 teams working together because you were able to get that equipment.
any questions so far?
I have a quick question. This is Jan. If you could send me the URL for that page that you mentioned,
Sure.
where the forms are located at, I can, or you can send it out to everybody as well, but I figured I could post it as well.
Yeah, and it's actually just terrafairs.org/resources. So we can send that out. Mary Eileen's putting it right into the chat for everyone's access, but we can send that out via email as well with the group that we have that we're interested in this program, and you can forward that to whoever you'd like.
Okay. And then I also noticed that Lisa has joined us as well.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, Lisa.
You want to introduce yourself, Lisa? You'll need to turn your audio on. Well, we will hear you when you speak.
Okay. So let's get into how to apply. So our application form, I believe, was emailed out to everybody. Mary Eileen, I think, sent it to everyone as an attachment, but it is on the terrafairs.org website. You can download it right from there. We can also email it out after this webinar if you'd like. So you would complete the form and then you'd send it to me. That's my email on the screen. It's mscott@terraed.org. And we're only giving this opportunity to people in the Terra Fairs counties. So in the Potsdam counties, that would be St. Lawrence, Franklin, Clinton, and Essex. If you know anyone in the Rochester Finger Lakes community within the counties listed on the screen, feel free to share this with them. And the application is due October 30th. We did extend it. And if anyone needs help with the application or has a question on it, you can feel free to contact any of us about that. Oh, Lisa, you're with us now? Okay. So for project preparation, your role is to help with anything from deciding on the actual project idea, because that is a big setback for a lot of students. It's very intimidating to actually choose something, and then work with them through the process of actually researching it. We want to make sure that these projects are research projects rather than topic projects. The difference between those, a topic presentation is more of a lit review, and a research, there's going to be actual data used. If you need more information on those, you can always talk to us afterward. And we also have more information on the website about that. If your students are in middle school, if they're in 8th grade, they can test into the high school research category with a math placement test, and that way they are qualified for this program. We also link you with science buddies. That's open to everyone, but we can find out what you need and better guide you on their giant website of resources for science projects. Specifically, they have a project guide, a selection tool that helps narrow down the choices, and they give a lot of different project ideas. And those 3 are all linked on our website as well under the resources tab. We also have talked to the Maine State Science Fair, and they gave us some resources, one being the SCAMPER technique. And SCAMPER is an acronym that stands for Substitute, Combine, Adapt, Modify, Put to Another Use, Eliminate, and Reverse. This example is posted right on the resource page again, and you can use this to get ideas moving with your students. So if you just give them a noun of some sort, and then they have to use this technique to change something about it. What we did at one of our workshops was we had people write down any kind of noun that they could think of, and we didn't tell them what for, and then we had them pull them at random and create this example. So we'll give you an example now. If you're going to invent a new type of pen, substitute, you would use iron for the ink. Combine, you would be writing with cutting instead of with a pen tip. Adapt, it could be the pen top as a container. Modify, the body could be flexible. Put to other use, you could use it to write on wood. Eliminate, you could, instead of having a clip, have a piece of Velcro. And reverse, the nib would fold outward. So that's just an example of the SCAMPER technique. There's lots of examples online, though, as well. And I believe there's a few extra examples right on the website if you link to the SCAMPER link on our resource page. So we also have the 4-question strategy with a full PowerPoint linked on the website as well. But just to go over the 4 questions with you quick, we'll use plants as our example. The first question is, what materials are readily available for conducting experiments on? And we're going to use plants. So they would list whatever materials they have accessible to them already. So that might be a home garden. It could be something at the school, at a park. So that's an example of the first question. The second one is, how do plants act? So what they can observe about the plants. They grow, they wilt, whatever they may observe. In my case, they wilt more than grow. The third question is, how can I change the set of a plant material to affect the action? So they might be changing the lighting, the water, the soil. Number 4 is, how can I measure or describe the response of the plant to the change? So this would be how much it grows, the coloring maybe, that sort of thing. So there's other examples. I think they use water as an example, very basic examples, but you can once again have them throw in any kind of noun, and they might want to do, I saw an example of a guitar, and they changed the strings, that sort of thing. So it's a good resource to just get the ball moving on picking a project idea, because that's where a lot of kids get stuck. Okay, so our goals for the Terra Affairs Fellowship is to boost students' interest in STEM. a lot of kids we're seeing a lack of participation in some of our regions, and we want to give them the opportunity to get into STEM at an earlier age. And the best way to do that, we think, is through science fairs. And they get a head start on learning how to research, and then that helps them in the future as well. And we have plenty of opportunities that they can take advantage of after they do the science fair, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So out of this, we also want to increase fair participation. The more participation we get, then it becomes increasing the quality as well. So it's a moving target for us, but increasing participation helps with the quality as well, because the kids start to collaborate as they're waiting to be judged, and they have downtime where they can discuss their projects and get excited over STEM and come up with new ideas for the next year. We also want to provide viable mentors to all these students. A lot of students don't have someone encouraging them to actually do a project. They might think that maybe they're on the artsy side, and they don't think they can actually enter a STEM project. But as we'll get into later, we have another opportunity with Genius Olympiad that really incorporates that. And it is possible to do a STEM project and making it more into a STEAM project even. So providing a mentor just gives the kids the extra push to actually compete in the fair. And then they have so many opportunities to win monetary prizes and cool medals and badges and even backpacks and scholarships. And then they advance to other competitions and make worldwide connections. So it's a really great opportunity just for the students and for the teachers and adults involved as well.
One of the things that we've found is that kids, because they don't have I'm 68. When I was a kid, every cafeteria had a bunch of baking soda volcanoes in it, and they called it a science fair. All the kids had experienced a science fair when someone would come and say, "Tell me what you did." Because that is no longer part of standard operating procedure in school districts, we find that kids see themselves, they're going to be sports clubs, they're going to be the band, they're going to be, and that's their only thing. And often what we need to do when we're trying to engage kids is let them think not as silos, but as an integrated human with many resources. So the band kid, they can do a project about changes in the reeds for the oboes because they hand cut their reeds. The kids that are on the football team can look at wear measures on the padding inside the helmets and see, is there a time when the kids start noticing, whoa, I felt that. It wasn't padded, it was concussive. Or is there a padding that's really good? And maybe when the kid's done with the project, they can go to the school and say, this is the padding that makes the kids feel much more comfortable and much more secure in their helmets. That could really be a good thing. The kids that are in a science Olympiad or first robotics team, what they're doing can immediately become a science fair project. They can take what they are doing, tweak the challenge or the question, and submit it as a completely new project to the science fair. But with that tweak, they make it their own. And that sense of ownership is the transformative piece of the equation. So any resource you have locally, including Boy Scouts, 4-H, Girl Scouts, they all have STEM badges or STEM activities. 4-H has an annual STEM activity. All of those can become projects. That means you as mentor don't have to invent anything. You just have to help the kids re-articulate what they did, make sure that it's research or engineering design, not just a model or a topic like a literature review, and then have them gather their data, analyze their data, make a poster of it. So, yeah, we think right now would be a good time. We have from the Jan's Fair a video from people that were there, kids, adults,
The judges, volunteers.
How do I get out of this? And show.
Yeah, we'll go back to it.
Okay.
So for those of you on the phone, hopefully you can at least hear the video. This is on our website, right in the sidebar. So just if you want to reference it or pass it along to anyone else, it's from our YouTube channel, Terra Science and Education.
And in this video, you're going to hear children at the fair, judges, a parent talking about how moving this has been for him. You're going to have an opportunity to hear about the fair experience from a number of perspectives. I'm Mary Eileen Wood, and I am the lucky person that got blessed by meeting the people at Terra. I'm sorry, we're on wireless, and apparently this is a wide band because I took the large screen. I'm going to reduce the screen.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fine. Forgive me. I want you to know this worked in practice.
Can you pause it and let it?
Yeah. It's an education foundation because they understood that there were kids here in the Northeast.
All right. Well,
I don't think you want to move there.
I'm just going to pause. Maybe Mary Eileen can recite what she said in the video. There. Okay.
Potential. And that they should have their very own international affiliate. A middle school science fair is a crucial part.
Did you want me to try to bring it up on my computer and share it through? Because I know that there's a button that with GoToMeeting that we can share our screens with the rest of the folks. Did you want me to try that?
A fair like this is, yes, it teaches them hard skills like learning specific about a science project, but also soft skills like asking the right question and how to frame that question and how to present that question and what is referencing and how do you reference it, how do you talk or how do you even get dressed for such an event.
Sometimes we limit the possibilities of children to be able to get into stuff like this when maybe they can be some of the best inventors or problem solvers that we have. Today I've seen a lot of things that I've never considered. They can actually solve real world problems as a science fair and take their knowledge and expand. You never know where it can go.
I don't think so.
About any of this stuff, and I find it really interesting now. And if it can get somebody else really interested to possibly go into science especially, that would be wonderful.
Science is contagious. The interest in that is contagious. And it's not just the awards, although those are really well funded. We have some great awards here today. When you catch that bug, that science bug, it just kind of follows you through life. I have a lot of students here, and they responded, and it's their first time, and they tell me, this is fun. We're having a great time here. We expected maybe 15, 30 students. I know we have over 130. I heard 150. And same for judges. A couple of weeks ago, we had 13 judges registered. We ended up with close to 80. So that's incredibly successful, but it shows how interested the community is in science education, which is awesome.
I mean, you can learn a lot from the science fair, and it's good because it kind of brings all the people who really like science in one place. So it's kind of good. You can meet with friends. You can learn a lot from the judges as well. And it's just a really good experience. And there are awards, so that's always good.
Yeah, we had a nice project and nice teamwork, and I think I'm very proud.
I'm very, very happy and very excited about this. This is just awesome. This gives me so much hope for the future. I'm actually recharged and refreshed, and I'm looking forward to more events like this in the future.
It's important to show these kids that there's value beyond sports. People look up to the kids who are hitting the ball or scoring a goal or running fast, but what's going to take you farther in life is what you learn and what you prepare for in school, and this is a part of that. Coming from the reservation in particular, I'm proud of these kids because oftentimes there's stereotypes about our kids that they're not able to achieve in this way. And so very proud of all of our young Mohawk boys and girls who have achieved and what they've done to advance this far.
Science fairs are a really good chance to come up with an idea and look more into it. It's a really nice learning experience.
When you do science fairs and stuff like this, you get to kind of learn new stuff about something that you really like, so it kind of prepares you for the future. I would definitely come back. This was great.
Anything else to add?
Science is cool.
Oh, she's so sweet.
I saw that Jan put in there the direct link to the YouTube video. If you had trouble hearing that, I apologize. I think it's coming through our TV because we're connected to our HDMI rather than coming directly to you through the computer sound.
Is everyone able to hear us now?
Yes.
I can.
Okay. Okay, for registration in the fair, we have several pieces that need to be considered. STEM Wizard is an online registration tool that links from our website. It gives you the way to get an adult who is going to walk this student through the process to open the door with their registration. That then lets the student refer back to that adult and the student registers. By end of November, registration doesn't close till February, but by the end of November, there will be guides online for the adult and the student so that they can go page by page, screenshot by screenshot, with exactly what's needed for the information they're uploading and how they prepare the information for each upload. It is not complicated at all, and this makes it incredibly easy because the adult can monitor how the student is coming. So it gives you a chance not having to talk with every child in a 20-minute meeting and show me all your papers. You sign into the website, you look at the kid, you see whether their milestones have been met. Presto, you know. You're okay with it? Yep. Okay. Then there's the SRC paperwork. Scientific Review Committee is the official unit of the entire science fair structure that makes sure that the kids who started with 10 fingers, 2 eyes, and an intact psyche end up with all of those when they're done. That the subjects also have the 10, the 2, and the intact psyche when they're done. There is no pain on a vertebrate. There are no living creatures killed. There's no one using a piece of equipment, using a biological, or doing anything else that would endanger the student, the environment, or the experimental subject. There are a lot of details at Society for Science and the Public. That again links from our website. But the Scientific Review Committee is this official entity. There's one that the TNRSEF runs. Mrs. Bolt is the chair, and she's up in Potsdam. So that is accessible. A number of your schools are organizing their own SRCs. So check on that. If you can't find the person in your school, give a holler. An SRC has 3 people. It's not complicated. And it's people that look and make sure the kids have the right dates, the right signatures, and the right pieces of paper. Again, not complicated. You just follow through the path and see what's needed. STEM Wizard, there's no fee for participating. There is a fee for being in the fair. And the next sentence you will not see written anyplace. But there is an angel. If there is a child that there's not school funding or club funding or some way for the student to participate, there is an angel who has said he will cover the $10, is it 10 or 15?
10, I think.
$10 fee for any child for whom $10 is a barrier. And it will simply be marked paid. There will be nothing that the student has to sign when they arrive. Oh, I took advantage of my angel sponsorship. We don't have to hear from their parents what their annual income is. We need a mentor, a school official, to let us know, Sally Jones, Michael Phillips, they need the angel. They're marked paid, and the day they arrive, it looks just like everyone else is paid. So there's a way to handle this without embarrassing a child. It's not paged up. All right, drum rolls. Saturday, March 30th at SUNY Potsdam, the Terra Northeast Regional Science and Engineering Fair. And what's really important about that is that gives your kids a target. And each month there will be more information coming out. Who will be the keynote? Is there a new award? Is there an event happening in advance? Last year we had webinars with astronauts in the 2 months before the fair. And the students were able to talk to these astronauts and ask questions live. That was an amazing thing. And they hadn't even been in the fair yet, and they got that perk. So this is a way that Terra has of helping you out in the trenches have the interest sparked among the children and give them a sense that they are part of something big.
And just so you know, we are doing webinars again with different people that have been involved in NASA. So that will still be available for the upcoming fair season.
All right. Now, there are ways to get involved in the TNRSEF. You can join the committee, and that lets you help make decisions about the fair. What direction do we need to do? Outreach. What is it that the community needs to hear so they understand how important a science and engineering fair can be to a child? The context in which we operate is that the kids are not exposed to people who love science and math necessarily until they get well into middle school. As a result, they never knew that you can get goosebumps from something exciting in science and engineering. So we need to make this happen, and the people in the community know how to do that. Terra has the resources. You can pick and choose what works. You can get involved in your community. You can take a flyer from us or a poster from us and go to a particular teacher that you know would think this was really cool because that teacher had your kid 2 years ago and the kid's still talking about the cool things they did in science class. So you just walk that poster over to that person and say, "Have I got a present for you?" Presto, you have done outreach for the fair. Kaylee May is going to talk with you about awards, about the Genius Olympiad, and the IntelliSEF.
So these are two of our major awards that the senior research projects are eligible for. Genius Olympiad is one that Terra organizes and sponsors. Students will be completely covered in their costs to attend Genius for a week at SUNY Oswego. Last year we had about 69 countries there in 35 states. So it's a great opportunity for students to stay kind of local but get that international feeling. Genius Olympiad is an international competition that's entirely focused on the environment, and it comes from 5 different disciplines. So science is just one of those areas. We also have robotics, business, creative writing, art, music, and short film. The other international competition that students can attend from our fair is the IntelliSEF competition. This year it'll be in Phoenix, Arizona. So all the coverage for the flight and the hotel, everything is covered by Terra, so your students won't have to worry about how they're going to get there. This is another large competition with over 70 countries there, 50 states. It's a great opportunity for students to exhibit their work and then interact with students from around the world who have different perspectives, experience different things, maybe have different resources available to them. So, one student maybe is looking at how to create better concrete, and maybe a student from Indonesia has different resources available to them to show them different ways to look at that problem.
Just a little tip about this. As you're gathering students to join your group through the fellowship program, Genius Olympiad projects are only allowed to have 2 students on them, while TNRSEF can have up to 3. So just remember that as you're forming student groups with your mentorship. And there's a highlight video of TNRSEF 2018. Because it's not playing well on the computer, I will just refer you to our website. It's posted in 2 different places. It's posted as a blog post right into the website. It's embedded right on there. And then again, it is posted on recruiting students, and that's a tab under the Potsdam tab. So you can recruit your students by showing them what a great time they'd have at ISEF. And Kaylee and I have attended for the past 2 years, and Mary Eileen probably doesn't want to say how many years she's attended, but it really is a wonderful experience for the kids and for us, of course. But they do a very good job there.
Okay, so we have a few upcoming events and programs that Terra has going on. Our first is our capacity building grants. This is a grant that you can receive for your school or educational organization up to $5,000 as long as it goes towards building capacity in any way. It could be new projectors, it could be textbooks, robotics club funding, basically anything that helps your school out. The applications for that are due December 1st. I believe they were in the folder that was shared with you. We can also email them if you need it. And it's on the resource tab on the website. In addition, we just launched our GEO clubs, and that's for Genius Olympiad. So this is funding for students to start their own club and create projects. This can be outside of the science categories as well. So if you have some of your science students that want to do this, but also maybe want to collaborate with some of the music students who are going to write a composition for it, you all can be in the same club. So we will send out t-shirts, we'll give you funding for your projects, up to $100, and really just trying to promote, STEM, STEAM, all of that in the schools.
And just a little tip on that, you could be in the fellowship program mentoring students who have created a Go Club. You can double dip and get some extra funding and free t-shirts.
Yes. And then also coming up on November 1st is our Urban Education Conference. This year's topic is Understanding Student Behavior. It's a half-day conference beginning at noon, and lunch is provided with your registration.
All right. If anyone has any questions at this time, we can take them now.
Questions let us know that we haven't been talking to a vacuum or that we didn't kill you all with boredom. So please comfort us and ask questions.
Well, I don't really have a question. Maybe Lisa does or Sean.
Sean, as a classroom teacher, what grades do you work with?
Primarily 9th and 10th.
Perfect.
That's ideal. A ninth grader coming in can do that first project, which is fairly simple, but lets them build the skill set so that then they have 3 more years to advance. And we've had kids that the first year, very simple, that they came, they did a project, they enjoyed the day, they went home with a participation certificate. And by the 4th year, those students were ready to earn scholarships and were winning major awards from the military and advancement awards. So if they can come in at 9th and 10th grade, that's wonderful. You're in the perfect position. Lily?
Well, that's what I'm trying for.
Are you there?
No, I think Lily had left the group. I only see
Okay.
3 of us listed.
If you see her, Jan, she might want to know that her college students can become mentors and committee members. And so as a mentor, they can, especially if they're juniors or if they're seniors who plan to stay for grad school so they can get that 2-year participation, this is an incredible thing for their resumes.
Okay, that's good to
take
know.
that
I was
funded leadership opportunity. It really makes them stand out when a grad school's looking at two students that have 3.85s. They have similar majors, but one has already been a funded recipient, and it has done that proactive recruitment of the next generation in the field. That's very powerful. And you, of course, as a faculty member know, but sometimes we don't realize that these faculty, of course faculty could do it, could also open the door for a college student. Lisa? Lisa, is your audio still on? I'm going to open the chat box.
There is a question on here about the registration fee. I'm not sure if we had addressed it at the time. I believe it is $10 to register.
And if there are no other questions, know that there are amazing resources at Terra. I worked for 15 years on science fairs before I connected with this organization, and the assets they are putting on the table, the fellowships for mentors, the GO clubs, the capacity building grants that could have transformed my experience as a classroom teacher, because I would have had just equipment that I could only dream of having. But they also do things like making available online the Fair in a Box that lets you run a science fair in your local library, in the school cafeteria, in the local 4-H. It has everything you need, from the notice to send home to families all the way to the posters to put up and the press releases so that the newspaper comes and takes pictures of the kids. It has everything that you would need to run a fair. They have Family Science Adventure, which 2 mentors could get together and say, let's invite the kids and their families for the equivalent of a PTA night. And we provide you with a program that lets the kids try on what it's like to have a science fair project by actually doing small experiments and then talking about them. Well, we talk with the parents about how important it is that these kids consider science, technology, engineering, math as career options, so they're not limited to with or without fries as their career path. Then there's maker halls where the entire community, pre-K to seniors, can come together for science and engineering fun. Again, to get more people engaged with thinking, oh, science and engineering isn't something to be afraid of. It's not fake news. It's something that we are born scientists and engineers. So this is a brain opportunity. So these are all assets. When Terra puts that on the table, you can absolutely believe it's there. It's high quality and it's ready for you.
And you're welcome to read about these opportunities on the terraed.org website. Believe that there's also links from the Terra Affairs site to go to that as well. We have new opportunities like a high school research journal that's open internationally with free submissions for students. So, I mean, that's just the latest one. We constantly come up with more opportunities for students. And if you have any questions at all, you can always email any of the three of us or give us a call.
Thank you all so much for your dedication to kids, for your dreaming big for them so they can dream big themselves. You take care, and we will be in touch. And we look forward to seeing your applications.
Thank you.
Okay. Mary Eileen, did you happen to catch Lisa's last chat question? When are the registration forms due for the fair?
They aren't due until February. I think it's around the 15th of February.
Yeah, we're usually about 2 weeks or actually,
that should
we're
give
usually
us
about
over
4
a
weeks.
month.
Yeah, so that'd give us over a month for it. So that should work.
It should make life much easier. If you want to push yours to the end of the month, it can be, you can give yourselves 30 days. You can make it mid-February. You decide as a committee, and that's what Megan will post on the website.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much, all of you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.